Good morning, everyone. Come on, please. Right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cabinet on Wednesday, the 5th of January, and Happy New Year to everyone. Right, do we have any apologies for absence, please? No. Do we have any comments on the minutes, please? I believe we have a correction. Councillor Seward.
Yes, I'm just looking at page 4 of the minutes, Chairman. Just going down to paragraph when the chairman invited members to speak. 1, 2, 3 to Councillor Halliday asked me a question and I replied, and I said, this was about toilets. He said there had been some previous data relating to 9 of the council's toilets. Can we just put in there relating to usage of? Is that all right, Emma? Thank you.
Is everyone in agreement with that? Thank you. Anybody else got any comments on the minutes? No? If not, we'll take those as true record then. I'm not aware of any public questions or statements, and I'm not aware of any items of urgent business. Do we have any declarations of interest, please? No. Okay, members' questions. I'm not aware of any members' questions, but as always, I'll take questions as we go along if anyone wants to ask any. Recommendations from Overview and Scrutiny. I saw an email last night from the chairman of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee saying there was nothing that he wished to bring to the Cabinet's attention. Is that correct? Lovely, thank you. So then can I pass to Councillor Fredericks for the Support in Safe Accommodation Strategy report? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members. Good morning, officers, and Happy New Year. This report comes before you. It's to ask us to support the overriding safe accommodation strategy in Norfolk, which I support, obviously. I would like to pay my thanks and respect to the officers here that do a far better job at supporting people who are experiencing domestic abuse. And that goes across our people services and actually every department. So thank you. And I'll pass over to Karen if she has any comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Fredericks. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Do you just want me to introduce the strategy? So this is a partnership strategy. It's based upon a needs assessment. It has been developed by partners, and that's been directed by a partnership board led by Norfolk County Council. This is work that's come about as a result of the introduction of new duties in the Domestic Abuse Act 2021. I think it's fair to say that the strategy does have a very narrow focus. So it just does focus on the provision of support to victims of domestic abuse and their children. And it's people who are residing in safe accommodation. So both support and safe accommodation are defined. And safe accommodation is quite an inflexible definition in that it only includes refuge accommodation, accommodation that has sanctuary measures attached to it, which are target hardening, and accommodation which is solely used for victims of domestic abuse. So it's quite small numbers of accommodation, and I think it's fair to say that victims of domestic abuse are placed in a far wider range of accommodation types. And because that's not necessarily defined as safe accommodation, it means that this support isn't necessarily available to them. It doesn't mean to say that support generally isn't available, but it's this particular type of support that this strategy includes. And I think it's important to also note that it doesn't include services that are provided by other agencies for domestic victims of domestic abuse, which are provided within the community. So support to victims and also perpetrator programs. They are provided by other agencies. So, and you will be aware of the new service that comes into being this week. There has been some publicity around that, and there was also information in the members' bulletin in November which detailed the services that were going to be coming into play as part of that commissioning. So we have recognised the shortcomings of the strategy. That's mainly due, I think, to the need to develop the data further, the needs analysis, and also the time scale in which the strategy has been developed and having to bring that partnership together. But that will be addressed in further updates of the strategy and as the partnership develops. And also as we're able to have dialogue with government over the definition of safe accommodation, and perhaps get in some acknowledgement that that needs to be widened. There was a consultation period for the strategy which ended at the end of November, and the letter that was sent from the council has been included in the agenda pack for you. So we're presenting the strategy to Cabinet today to seek endorsement for what is a partnership strategy and the importance of our role in developing and implementing that strategy as one of the key partners with a duty to cooperate, but also really reflecting the importance that we place on the need to support victims of domestic abuse. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Gay. Would you like to say something?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would just like to say that we are simply asked to endorse this today, and I think that we should. And I support that everything that Wendy has said about the additional work which is done in this council in support of victims of domestic abuse. This is a narrow proposal, but I suggest we do endorse it. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. In that case, can we move to the vote, please? All those in favour of accepting? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. So then, Councillor Seward, we move to you and the lease proposal at Hornbeam Road. Can I just remind members, please, that if they wish to refer to anything that's in the purple papers at the end of this report, we would need to go into private session. I don't believe there's a need to, but please be mindful of that when you're talking about anything on this report. Thank you.
Good morning, members. Morning, Chairman. Officer Will Cross is here today, so if people have specific or technical questions, I'm sure Will will be able to answer them for us. It was about 12 months ago that the District Council acquired 3 units, new units at Hornbeam Road, North Walsham. They were acquired for investment purposes to produce an income for the council. It was a commercial venture. What the council has now received from a national operator is an offer to lease all 3 units for a period of 15 years. They are a national operator of storage, distribution of hardware, kitchen and home improvement materials. And they will also have a trade counter on the site. This is in compliance with the existing planning permission for the site. This proposal will produce a good financial return for the council. It will be above the council's minimum asset management policy requirement of 4%. And I believe that this is an attractive and sound investment to produce long-term income for this council. There has been to date 2 other expressions of interest. They have not actually resulted in any lease being taken up. One of them is because there would have to be some changes in planning. So I think this is by far the most attractive option that is now available to this council in order that we can attract income from this site. And therefore I move the recommendations set out in the paper, paragraphs A and B. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions on this? No? Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Kershaw, thank you. In which case we'll move to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you, that is unanimous. That is the end of our business. There's no need to exclude the press and public. However, I do have a statement that I'd like to read out, please. Over the last 2 years, COVID has caused turmoil in our world, and it has been hard for many people for many different reasons. Some through the stresses of work and delivering services to keep us all safe, including many of the team here at the council. Those whose lives were put on hold, including many of our businesses, and not forgetting our young people. It has been particularly hard for those who have fought the virus and lost loved ones, friends, and family. Those closest to me will know that a year ago today, my life was changed forever. Since then, I have also lost my father, and now my husband is seriously ill. I can therefore no longer give the time and dedication required to fulfill the role of the leader of the council in the manner I would wish to, and give the attention that it deserves. The residents of North Norfolk have every right to expect this. I am therefore this morning giving notice that it is my intention to resign as leader of North Norfolk District Council as soon as a new leader can be elected by both my group and then full council. Until then, I will remain in office and continue to complete my duties. It has been an immense honour and privilege to have led the council for the last 3 years and to have been the leader of the Liberal Democrat group here for the last 5.5. It's now time to focus on a new year and delivering for the people of North Norfolk, as we have been doing since taking control of this council. Happy New Year to everyone at NNDC. We could not have achieved what we have thus far without you and your dedication and commitment. You have my sincere thanks. Thank you, that's all I've got to say. The meeting